I don't know if you saw in that last episode, I included the flick off.
I haven't seen it yet.
No? Hasn't seen it. But yeah, welcome back to episode 13 of Definitely Random.
Yes, sir.
We're back at you with the vibes. We're back at you with the non-stop amazing content. I'm wearing my glasses this time.
Keeps going.
Let me tell you something. They're not real.
They're fake. They're the IMAX glasses.
They're the blue light. The IMAX ones from back in the day.
He took the lens out.
Do you remember when, if you would go like school field trips, when that was first a thing, they give you like the glasses, people would start wrapping them in like colored duct tape, or they'd color them like to be cool, but they like pop out the actual lens.
Yeah.
And oh my god, that was the same era as like the I Love Boobies. The belt that are
the
studded.
checkered ones, the studded,
yeah, the studded ones. I never bought those, but I thought they were cool.
I had a studded belt.
Do you remember what are they? Reebok? The Reebok shoes that were wavy at the bottom. Do you remember those? It was the same era as all that, because at first I thought those shoes were really cool.
Reebok's wavy at the bottom.
Reebok.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like the whole sole, like the whole rubber parts.
The whole thing.
It's literally.
Yeah, the whole shape. It wasn't flat with the design. Like the whole thing was a wave.
Yeah, I know.
Wavy shoes. Let me just.
Did you ever? See,
this one.
Did you ever see the Reeboks with the balls on the feet?
The balls on my face?
Yeah, the feet.
Wait, was it these? Now my memory's kind of.
I think I know what you're just talking about.
Is it these?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put a little picture up there if you guys want to see it. That was a wild time. And then which ones are you talking about? The one with the balls?
Yeah, so my mom didn't want to get me them.
That's questionable.
Look, no, I swear.
Did your priest show you these at church?
I was a freshman. Ball soles. I don't even know what they're called.
Ball soles, dick, ass. This is definitely not rated for kids. Definitely not.
So I had the red versions, but this is essentially what they were. And looking back, so you
did buy them?
No, I had them. Yeah, my mom didn't want to, but I told her like I want to try something different, because before I'd only get white shoes or like black shoes, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I wanted something different, and the colorway I got was red. Hold on, let me see if I can just find them. Red. Go for it. And I wore them during powerlifting. I have pictures of me wearing them, and looking back, I really wish I didn't have them. And we can
regretted that one? That was a regret?
Looking back, yeah. And then I thought I kind of liked them and whatever, but no. And then I powerlifted in them. I had no like stability. It was pretty bad.
You said powerlifting. You were a freshman?
Yeah.
Nice.
So let me just show you this, I guess, and we can put it up on the thing. Look, it was these. You don't remember these? They had like...
Oh, yes. They look like the tentacles.
Yeah.
They look like tentacles. Yes. Yeah, we'll put these up.
Yeah, I had these. I have pictures
Sonic
of
Rush. What are those? The Reebok. Dude, what's up with Reebok in this era making weird shoes?
Yeah. I liked them initially, and then after wearing them and looking back at pictures, I'm like, I kind of wish I didn't.
Dude, I had these... Oh, I see them right here. I had these yellow... What were they, like Kobe 5s or 4s? They were Kobe shoes, like basketball shoes. And they were like one of my first pair of like real basketball shoes, because I would get basketball shoes, but they were like the $20, $30 cheap, like Nike from Academy.
Yeah.
Kind of like the equivalent of like rubber cleats.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like Land Sharks, I think they were called the Land Sharks rubber cleats.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm following.
So I would always get the equivalent of those, but then I bought... Freshman year, I bought these Kobe's, and they were like scaly, like snakeskin, and they were white with a little black and yellow in it. And I remember buying them, and I was like, "Dude, these are fucking sick." And they were like low top. I thought they were pretty sick. And then I'd wear them a lot, and then I think I bought them before like 8th grade, going to freshman year. And then I remember during summer camp for football freshman year. I left him on the bench because I was changing, and the coach walked by, and he was like, "Whose ugly ass shoes are those?" I said, "Coach, those are mine." He's like, "Man, you spent money on that?" Fuck, Coach Flotus. Fuck that guy. If you guys know who I'm talking about, fuck Coach Flotus. All right. Anyway,
was it like these? Because I had these. I feel like they're kind of similar to what you were describing. They're the Kobe Mamba Rage.
Yeah, they were like, yes, they were like those.
I still have them.
I don't have them.
I still have them. They're in storage.
They were one of the first few ones that...
I wonder if they go for money now that he's like passed. R.I.P. Moment of silence.
R.I.P. Let's all just take a moment of silence. Anyway.
I still low-key kind of like them. I don't know what he's talking about. Low-key.
I thought they were sick, and I still wore them. I was like, man, fuck you. My mom bought me these. I thought they were sick. Anyway, it was cool. It was a cool,
I have
cool
them
pair
in
of
storage.
shoes. I wear those. They were like my daily shoes. I didn't even wear them for basketball because I wasn't even in basketball. So I don't know what the
I didn't wear them as much only because I found that like, because the inside, I don't know. I mean, if we had the same ones, the inside had kind of like a Croc type of material. Like it's kind of like rubber.
Yeah,
or something.
that rubbery type.
Yeah. So I had that, and so my feet would always squeak for one.
Yes, I remember them
very
squeaking.
Stiff. So whenever I'd walk, it sounded like I was wearing high heels. And
I do remember them squeaking because I would walk down the hall and we'd squeak, squeak.
Yeah. So I didn't wear them as much. I do like the look.
I do remember,
but I feel like a little more thought could have gone into them.
Yeah, for sure, a little more engineering. But those were the first. If we're talking about the same ones, those were one of the first Kobe. Like I remember them being like the Kobe 3s or something.
I might sell one. I should have checked how much they went for.
They go for now? I don't know. Anyway, we started this podcast running. I hope everyone's week is going good. Usually I say that. Now I'm going to say it. My week's going pretty great. Haven't really done much. First week back. We got last week off. For those who don't know, got a week off at our jobs.
It was our summer break.
It was our summer break. Yeah. But it was a good week. We went camping. Did you find them?
It's a large range. So it looks like they're only going for like, the lowest I'm seeing is like 60. And the highest I'm seeing is 479.
Oh, I guess it really depends on which ones you get, maybe. Maybe there were some like limited edition ones in there.
They all look the same. I don't know. I'm not selling them.
I don't know. I'm no mathematician. I'm no scientist.
But yeah, no. So yeah, going back to what you were saying, we had the week off. We went on a little road trip, I guess.
A little road trip. Nothing crazy.
To go see a couple of state parks here in Texas. And our first stop was Pedernales State Park, which we have a story for that one. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to find another pair of shoes I had.
Oh.
I forgot what they're called.
So we stopped at Pedernales first, which we have a story for that one. It wasn't my best day. First day. Started off good, and then the middle kind of got rough, and then it ended okay. And then second day, went to Enchanted Rock, which was pretty cool.
These are the land sharks I was talking about. Yeah, this is what coaches would give us. I mean, given they were probably very budgeted, you know, because they were like, everyone got a pair, so I'm sure.
They tried to give me that, and I said, no, I'll get my own cleats.
So they gave that to me, I think, in middle school. And I think they still, I don't know about high school. I think in high school we had a little bit of a bigger budget, so they had like, still cheaper, but at least plastic bottom. But I remember getting those in middle school. And at first I was like, oh, fuck yeah, they gave us their own pair. And they were like brand new too. They were brand new.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. They gave it to us. I was like, I bet. Brother. Oh my gosh. I would have rather worn my chanclas. Like, honestly, it was fucking horrible. Like, I mean, if you didn't have absolutely anything else, sure.
That was like last resort.
Yeah, and I get it. And I don't want to judge anyone if you did have to use those or whatever. Well, you know, some people can't afford them. Yeah, no, that's what. I was fortunate that my mom, I didn't get like high-end ones either, but my mom was able to get me some other ones, and those were so much better. But these, oh my God, they hurt. The grip was terrible. I think on mine one time, the little, like a rubber part, like tore off. So like whenever I'd like stop or make a cut,
you'd be like tripping.
I'd be like, and I was like, that's it. I'd lasted like a fucking week in them, and I was like, I can't do this.
Those are my backups.
Those are like, I'd go barefoot. And then when the spina stepped my foot, then I'll put these on. Those are bad. So if anyone has played football in middle school, you probably got those. And they were...
I think the cheapest cleats I had were... Because they tried to give me... Actually, no. And this... Did they? I didn't like what they had, I think. Or they didn't have enough.
Was this high school?
No, middle school.
Okay.
I can't remember if I didn't like what they had or they didn't have enough to go around. So I ended up having to get my own cleats. And... I found some nice Nike ones, and they were the ones where you take off the cleat part.
Yeah, you unscrew it
because they would wear.
Because they wear down.
Yeah, and I wasn't really aware of that. And we were playing on a grass field. It's like mostly dirt, but some grass, and so they wore out quick during practice. And my mom never wanted to buy me
those new ones.
Yeah, because they're expensive. And so during games, I was constantly sliding, and I told my mom like, "Hey, like I need something else." And then she came in clutch, kind of, with some Rowling plastic rubber cleats underneath, and those things were like $30, $40. I'm like, whatever, they'll do. And I think that's like the lowest ones I've had.
I don't remember. I had the Land Sharks, like I said, and I bought some other ones. I can't imagine they were expensive because I was like in 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And I bought some, or my mom bought me some, I should say. And I can't remember for the life of me what they even were. They were either Nike or Under Armour. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But those were pretty good. I remember I played 7th grade B team. Okay. Trash, right? But I was the starter. So I was just okay. I wasn't super trash. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I played defense in middle school. And I remember getting my first interception. Mm-hmm. I forgot who we were playing. They were playing like BL or Barrientos or one of those. I don't know who we were playing. We were playing another middle school. I think it was BL. And I remember getting an interception. And I was like, what do I do? Like for a split second, I remember thinking like, oh fuck, like, oh my God, I did it.
I did it.
I don't know what the play was, but I barely remember the names of the plays, but I was outside linebacker. Uh-huh. So I was covering like a flat route, and I felt like a fucking pro at the time. That's all I remember thinking, like, I'm professional, put me on A team. Because I remember seeing like the guy go off a route, and then the quarterback turn, and I'm like, this is money, right? But at first I was like, I'm gonna get the tackle. But then, he threw it, I intercepted it obviously in the middle. And for a split, I think for like literally a second or two, I like stood there and I was like, oh shit, run. And then I ran like 5 yards and then got tackled. But I was like, that was like my proudest moment. And then like 2-3 weeks later, I tore my ACL or some shit like that. It was like almost end of the season. And I was out for like months, like a long time. Sucks. And then I didn't play football 8th grade year for a couple of reasons. Injury. My mom didn't want me to get injured, and then 7th grade year, I was very rebellious. Uh-huh. So it was like my punishment.
So you get in trouble and stuff.
Yeah, so I didn't play 8th grade, and then I played again all through high school.
Dang.
But yeah, so my ACL is pretty fucked. Actually, it's okay now.
I played 6th grade. And
we didn't even have it 6th grade.
No, it wasn't part of the school.
It was like the city or the kind of type of football, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, something like that. Just to get started, and then 7th and 8th grade I played. And then going into 9th grade, I actually didn't want to play. And then my mom's like, no, we'll just give it a shot. Like, it's different from middle school. And maybe you'll like it, whatever. Just give it a shot. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going, and I'm like, I don't want to play. But my mom's like, okay, well, you already started the season. Like, don't quit. Like, that's something you don't do. I don't want you to quit.
Yeah.
Finish out the season, and if still at the end of the year you don't want to play, fine, you don't need to play. Cool. So I finished off the season, or I continue on the season. I fall in love with my coaches. They're badass. Made me fall in love with the sport again.
Right.
And then went to varsity my sophomore year, and then junior and senior year. But my senior year, that's when I had like my most expensive cleats. I think those were like just shy of $200.
Me too.
I had like some Cam Newtons. They were maroon and gold.
Oh, the high top ones?
Yeah. But they were Under Armour though, and our uniforms were Nike.
Yeah.
So I kind of threw it off, but the colors were on point, and I love those things. I think I still have them.
Those were like really hype when that Cam Newton, the dabbing thing was a thing. Those were like the cleats at the time.
Now I don't know what's the cleat to get.
I don't think mine were shy of 200. My most expensive were also senior year. They were blacked out, and I think they were 140.
Oh, okay.
Or 130, I remember. And I wore them 4 times. And then I gave him to Austin, which is Caleb's little brother. So I was a senior, he was a sophomore. And because I just couldn't break them in. So I had those, and then I had the ones that they gave us. So and they gave us blue with black, like Nike. Oh, I forgot. Vapor? They don't even make them any Vapor Maxes. Were they Vapor?
No, not Vapor Max. It's
Vapor.
I think it's something with a Vapor. I think those were the common ones.
Yeah, I think so. But they don't even make it anymore because the stripe went down the middle, and now they don't make that model or whatever the fuck anymore. But they were so fucking comfortable.
Really? You loved them?
God, dude, they were so comfortable. And like my black ones were just, I guess I had to break them in, really. I just had to break them in. But I was like, why break them in if I have these ones I like? So I wore them a couple times, and I wore them a couple times in practice to break them in. I wore them once in a game, I think, because we had blacked out uniforms. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go all black. And then it was like maybe halfway to in the season, 4 or 5 games in, I'm like, I don't even really want them. So, but I kept them for the season, and then after the season, I was like, I just gave them to Austin. I was like, dude, I wore them like 4 times. You can have them. Go ball out, JV, in these fucking badass cleats. So he did. I think he wore them for honestly like 2 years. So you're welcome, Austin.
Well, I bought a pair of practice cleats and the Cam Newton ones. Well, those were my game cleats.
Oh yeah, those are like the game time.
I broke them in during 2-a-days because I had them in the very start of the season. So I broke them in during 2-a-days. And then after they were broken in, which sucked, that it took like a week to break them in. Horrible feeling, horrible week. And then I put them away. Okay, cool. They're already broken in. They're getting kind of comfortable. Then I switched to my practice cleats, and then my mom didn't want to, but I convinced her.
I hated breaking in or re-breaking in, like getting used to. Fuck, cleats? I said that's so no helmets.
Oh,
fucking like you go
get headaches or neck hurts.
Oh my god, like 2-a-days when they started, and then towards the end they give you the helmet. And you're like first you're like just helmets or whatever, just to get used to. Oh, dude, that first honestly, for me, it was like 2 weeks. It was just like squeezing my head because I'm not used to it anymore. Yeah. So it's just like squeezing my head and like my neck feels heavy. So I'm just like, obviously you get used to it and you're good after that. Yeah. But those like first 2 weeks, every year, I was like, I dread
breaking in cleats and I dread putting on the helmet.
And I hated it because I had like, I had to have my helmet like perfect. Like the chin strap had to be perfectly symmetrical because if it was off, it bothered me so much. So I had to like look in the mirror and I was like, okay, make sure. And then like make sure the air is like even on both sides. It's fucking 2 weeks are terrible. But we got through it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Good times. A bunch of has-been memories that we did not plan to speak of, but that's okay.
Yeah, we went completely off course with that. But I guess going back, going way back. The point of this thing, we just want to talk about our trip a little bit. First place we went to was Pedernales State Park. Second place was Enchanted Rock State Park, right?
Enchanted Rock State Park.
Okay. Yeah. And then Inks Lake
State Park. All state parks.
Yeah, they're all state.
Name State Park.
Yeah.
XY State Park. Yeah.
So.
Which was fun. I thought it was Monday, Tuesday. 4? It was supposed to be 4 days, right?
3 nights, 4 days.
3 nights, 4 days. We left a day early. So it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, leave Thursday. So Pedernales was only about an hour 10 outside of San Antonio north. About north, almost north, directly north. And then everything was kind of within itself. Closest we got to, or farthest we got to, was Inks Lake, which was about an hour and a half, close to Austin. So we hit it west or east just a little. But it was good times. My overview is I think Enchanted Rock was the best. Yeah. Super relaxing. The hike was like, I don't know, just like a walk. Steep, got you a little tired, but didn't really feel like a hike. But it felt like a hike, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like it felt like you were hiking for that 1 mile up, but it was like a nice just walk. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I get you.
And then when you got up there, so we would hit Enchanted Rock day 2. And I'll get to that later, but I think Enchanted Rock's my favorite. And then Pedernales was okay. I think other than what happened, so we have this story, that was first day. We'll dive deeper the first day. So other than that, overall, like if I were to plan out another camping trip, I'd probably only go to Pedernales for a day trip. I don't know if I would camp unless I kind of had to. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like the better you could do what you wanted to do there in an afternoon. Yeah. And after that, it was just like, all right. Enchanted Rock, super nice. Probably still a day one. I don't imagine there's a whole lot there. Inks Lake, I think you definitely make Inks Lake
your go-to.
Yeah. So if anyone's ever been to Gardner State Park, which is kind of more popular, it's equivalent to Gardner, but honestly, I think it might be a little bigger, actually.
It seems so, like on the map, yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot more like camping spots. Hiking-wise, I'm not too sure. We actually didn't
hike all that much. We just did that one.
Oh, we did that one little one. Yeah. Hiking-wise is probably, I think Gardner's better hiking-wise.
I would say so.
But in terms of everything else, like, and I say everything else, stuff, like camping, canoeing, kayaking,
fishing,
swimming, all that. The lake was bigger.
If you're going for recreational purposes, like just hanging out with the family.
Right, like family time.
Yeah.
It's probably better there.
I would recommend that one.
Yeah. So for me, it was Enchanted Rock, Inks Lake, then Pedernales. I think that was my pick.
Yeah.
What about you? Just overview.
Overview?
Yeah.
I like the views a lot for Enchanted Rock, but I feel like there would be more to do at Inks Lake, so I put Inks Lake at my number 1, Enchanted Rock at number 2, and then Pedernales. Screw that place. That's number 3.
All right. Okay. So look, let's start the stories. Let's go down the timeline.
Okay.
So we wake up Monday morning, 5 a.m. Yeah. I'm going to pick up Eric. Cool. Pick him up. We drive out to Pedernales, which is again an hour, about 10 minutes north of San Antonio. So we went there because they have like this falls. They didn't say waterfalls, but they call it Pedernales Falls. So
kind of misleading.
A little misleading, but still nice. So that was kind of the selling point. They had decent camping. We kind of researched our parks, what we wanted to do prior, and so we chose that one. Or we chose those 3. So we get there, cool. We go on our first. We start the day with hikes. So we get there about 8, 9 o'clock. Probably 8 actually. I think we started at 8:30. Start our hikes before check-in, which is at 2. So we do our first where the Pedernales Fall is. Yeah. The main attraction.
Where the water is. Or
right.
Whatever.
So the best way I could describe it is as if there's like probably supposed to be a river or like rushing water is what I would imagine that dried out. Not saying it did dry out, but I think that's what it felt like. I was walking on the bed of like
what would have been the river.
Yeah, what would have been a river, which was very wide. Not to say this was small. This was like 50 yards across, if not bigger, from one side to the other side. Yeah. If I had to.
We walked across it. It was
we walked across. So I would say about 50, 60 yards.
Pretty big, yeah.
So big. They're wide, I'm sorry. And long, I'm not too sure. But that's what it felt like. So it was all like rock. You found like little deposits of water, and which is why I kind of bring up why I felt like I was at the bottom or walking on the bottom of what would have been a river. It's because we saw like a skeleton of a fish.
A fish and like 3 dead turtles.
Yeah, 3 dead turtles that were just dried out.
Like they got stuck there during like a low tide, and then it just kind of, I guess the area's been in a drought, and so they just got stuck and dried out literally.
Literally. It sounded like if you were to push their shell or what's left, it sounded like hollow, just like cardboard scraping across a rock.
That's sad.
It was a little sad. We had a little moment of silence. That was pretty cool. So we started that. Pretty cool. The water, there was like a little pond area. That was all right. We didn't really go into it. No, I don't even know if it's swimmable other than that one guy that walked through. Yeah. I don't know if it's swimmable.
No, it was You're not supposed green to. And stuff. They didn't advertise you can swim in it, so I wouldn't. Yeah. But we just sat there at the edge for a little bit also. Right. Explored that area, sat there. That part wasn't bad. It was cool. Yeah. And that was probably the highlight of that park. Yeah. And what they advertised, and I think what the park's named after is that one area, which took us like with chilling in between like all of our walking, an hour to walk up and down and across and whatnot, which was again pretty cool. So we finished that part. We still have time before check-in. So then we're deciding whether to do 2 small hikes, which equate to like 3 miles total, or do this one hike that is like 6 miles. Well, total. Misleading because one said 6.2 and another one said like 5.8. Something, yeah. So there's 2 different distances. I'd say about 6 in the middle. So do the small ones or the one big one? And Eric's like, fuck it, let's do the big one. I was like, all right, bet, whatever. So little did I know. Little did he know. So whatever. We have our backpacks, our water, our boots, whatever. We go. Well, this is when things start to go bad. Okay, and let me take over from here. Yeah, I was gonna say Eric's gonna take over. This was his experience, so Eric has the floor now. Okay, so a little backstory. The night before, I don't know, or not the night, the day before, I don't know what I ate. But I had the runs, like for better words. I don't want to get like little like TMI, whatever. Right. I had the runs literally all day the day before, so I knew I was probably a little dehydrated the morning of the hike, whatever. So when we had stopped early in the morning, like 6 or 7 in the morning, we stopped for ice, and I went inside the gas station to get like a Pedialyte bottle so I can drink on the way and kind of replenish what I lost. And I thought I'd be fine with that. I guess I was a little bit more dehydrated than I thought. And so going back to where we are now in the story, we start the hike. I'm fine for the first quarter, somewhere between a quarter and a half of it. Probably not even half, closer to a quarter of the actual hike. And then I don't know where I start feeling a little weird. And we keep going.
A little weird.
Yeah, a little weird. I'm keeping it to myself. And I wasn't saying anything. And then Nick had a blister thing going on, a little rash from his hiking boot.
Yeah.
And once we stopped, I gave him a Band-Aid to kind of cover it up. That way it wouldn't turn into like a bad blister. And then I started getting like chills, which...
This is like 2.5 miles in, maybe close to 3.
Yeah, because we were kind of close to the finish.
We were pretty
point.
close, yeah.
So 2.5, I would say 2.5 to 3. You got it right.
Yeah.
And I started getting chills at that point. I'm like, what the heck? This isn't good. At this point, what was it, like 12? No, not 12. 11?
It's probably like 11, yeah, because we did the main attraction. We started probably 8:30, 8:15. Took us an hour, 9:30. Yeah, I'd say about 11.
Somewhere between 11 and 12?
Somewhere between 11 and 12 for sure, yeah.
And we're in Texas, so it's freaking hot. And there should be no reason why I'm getting chills. But I was wearing...
And mind you, he was all... okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wearing my boots, some hiking pants, and I was wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt.
Like a sun dry fit shirt.
Yeah.
A sun shirt. Like a fishing shirt almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And what do you call it? I felt like I was going to be fine. I felt like I had enough breeze, whatever. Everything was going good. But once I started feeling that, I'm like, hey, like something's not right. And I told Nick, I'm like, hey, I'm starting to get like chills. Like I don't feel that great. I don't know what's going on. We start going and I just start getting like super tired very quickly. And I'm getting a mixture of like chills and my body is getting freaking hot at the same time. Like it was a very weird feeling. And I immediately knew, I'm like, okay, I'm getting dehydrated. And it didn't hit me later until after the trail. But I was also probably getting like some heat exhaustion because I was just super hot. And then, going back, we continue up to the trail. We were taking periodic breaks just because I'm just getting too hot and just too like out of it mentally. And so we need to keep taking breaks. And I keep apologizing to him, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what it is. And finally we reach the top where we're supposed to. And we get to like, it's supposed to be some views of
it's
like a lake. It's supposed to be
like it's supposed to be like an, what do they call it? A scenic view, an overlook.
Yeah,
there you go.
It was terrible. Basura.
Yeah.
It was just some trees that we can barely see over the edge.
It wasn't worth the 3-mile hike if that's what you're doing the trail for that view. I wouldn't have done it for the view. If you're just doing it just to get like 6 miles of hiking in, then fine. By all means go for it. But if it's like, oh, we need to get to that view,
it wasn't.
I'll save you the time. Don't do it. And they even have a good bench up there. I mean, mind you, we're in the wild. I guess that's a little too much for me to ask.
The bench was made of.
It's just like a wood log. Yeah,
it was just a wooden log.
It was like, this bench is made by the 98 Boy Scout troop of blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, this 98 Boy Scout troop is fucking ass. Get better. Anyway, continue.
What do you call it? So we're up there, and at that, once we reached that point, remember, like we taking periodic breaks. I was just getting exhausted. And you finally made it, thank God. Drink more water. We packed like a sandwich each, so we ate the sandwich. I was hoping that would be it. Had a chance to cool down, rehydrate a little bit, get a little food in us. And so yeah, I thought I'd be okay. We start going, and then I don't know where I started getting super exhausted again. Body's getting super hot. I'm getting kind of disoriented. I'm dragging my feet. I'm kind of walking weird. And we take periodic steps. It was just not good. And I reached a point where like my brain is just telling me like, hey, like you have to stop or something bad's going to happen. But like my legs physically, they can keep going. I was a little tired, but like they can keep going. It was fine. It was just my brain telling me like, hey, something's going on. You need to stop. And I kept stopping. And at some point, like Nick took off to try to see like how far we were from the exit or the parking lot. And I sat there for a little bit, kept going towards him. Just so that he wouldn't have to run all the way back. And I started getting like on my knees and everything just because I just physically couldn't go. Like, I don't know, my brain is just like stop, red flags. You know, picture that episode of SpongeBob when they're in his office and his brain and it's on fire.
Everyone's running around.
Yeah, that's what was going on in my head. And I don't know, every time I stop, I just get this huge like feeling of heat overtake my body. I'm like, I need to cool down. It's just bad. And finally Nick brings like water. Like he reaches a point where he comes back running and I walk into him a little bit. He gives me water that he got from the car. I start pouring it all over myself, start drinking it. And I feel like I was stranded in the desert, and this angel just brought me. This angel just brought me my source of life, and it kind of gives me a second wind, but barely. Because after that, I was able to get up a little bit, keep going, finally see the exit, dragging my feet there, and then I do this, if you want to call it a run, a jog, it barely ended. I stumbled my way to a spigot there in the parking lot that people can use for drinking water. I stumbled my way over there, drop on all fours as if I've never had a drop of water in my life. I stick my whole head in there. I started drinking from it a little bit, and I just stay there for what I felt like. I felt like I was there for like 10 minutes just sitting there, but I know it probably wasn't that long.
In the car?
No, like at the spigot.
Oh, no, it was probably only like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I felt like I was there forever, and I was enjoying every second of it. And then finally I get up. I'm barely, I don't even know, I felt like I was speaking kind of weird. I'm struggling to take off my boots because I was just like so disoriented and everything and just kind of out of it. Struggling to take off my boots, finally take them off. And I just take off my shirt. I'm there laying in his car, and I kept apologizing this whole time to Nick. I'm sorry. I just felt so bad. And then I take off my pants. It just, I felt it just so hot.
Dude just starts stripping in the passenger seat of my car.
I needed to.
Which I didn't mind. I was like, oh no, you do you, bro. There was no one around except that one guy.
Yeah.
He was chilling by the spigot. But anyway,
he started stripping too. He took off his shirt.
He was taking off. He was just chilling there. Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, we're all down bad at this trail.
It was just bad, and I don't know. It was bad. After I stripped, Nick started driving off in the parking lot. He's like, hey, you left your boots there. Thank God he took a second look. And like, oh, my bad. And I was like, he turned around. We picked him up. We go to the front office or their HQ, their headquarters.
They call them headquarters.
It's not an office. It's headquarters.
It's headquarters. It's Park Ranger Central.
We get there, we sign in, I guess, for the...
We check in.
We check in for
our campsite.
The campsite, whatever. But yeah, long story short, I basically died. I was on the verge of death. I felt like...
Yeah. So from my point of view, like, we started fine. Like, I knew... So when you first started, when we were first going up, kind of where...
We recorded a little bit in the start.
Yeah, we recorded. So hopefully throughout the video, we're going to kind of recap some of the places we went to, our experience, and we recorded up until day 2, which is Enchanted Rock. Mm-hmm. And after that, I just forgot, honestly. I think we might have recorded...
We didn't record? I feel like we did a little bit.
We might have done...
Did we not?
I don't know. I'll have to look at the footage. I'll include what we can. Mm-hmm. If it's even worth it, I'll take a look at it. But we'll kind of... What we say here is pretty much what we say in the video. I kind of want to see if we can include a video of Eric dying or talking about it live in the flesh. That might be the most memorable thing.
I was down bad. You can see it in the video.
Yeah, so from my point of view, when we had stopped to put that Band-Aid, so on my ankle, it's kind of like what happens with girls when they wear heels. Mm-hmm. Or I guess any shoes. I know it happens to a lot of girls. The back of the heel, like it rubs. And so it like rubs the skin off. Mm-hmm. And that was what happened to me. And that was just my fault. I forgot to wear like longer socks. I was wearing no-show socks and my boots are ankle boots. So that was on me. So we stopped just for that real quick. It was really nothing bad. And up until that point, I think we were all fine. Yeah. It was after that kind of like where he picked up, where he was starting to get tired and breaking. And like I noticed it. I was like, oh shit, he's getting tired. But to me, it was more of a... It's just like the dude's just tired, which I get it. Like, it's fine. And honestly, I was pretty tired too. And it was not as hot as some days, but it was pretty warm outside. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was kind of an open trail. So it wasn't really like a lot of tree coverage. It was kind of like walking down to just like a caliche road or just, a road with gravel. Yeah. Just like an open road, kind of what it reminds me of. A ranch road is what it reminds me of. It wasn't too much like of a cool trail. Yeah. So anyway, after that, we continue. Like I said, he's getting tired. We're stopping kind of frequently, semi-frequently, not like too bad. We get to the top, we recharge. And up to this point, I'm like, he's just tired. Like once we get to the top. And one thing to note is we got to the top, I think right at 12. I think I remember making that comment. So right at 12, we get to the top where the overlook is. And I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm like, we're good. Like, we're kind of running low on water. Like, I only brought enough in my jug, which was a 32 ounce, and he brought only his, which was like probably 30 ounce as well. It was about the same size as mine. So that's all we had. And
I was already almost done with
normally, I would say that was okay, but this was not that circumstance. Yeah. And so we get to the top, we eat our little sandwich, we're chilling. We chill for honestly about 30 minutes, rehydrate. I'm like, okay, we're good. Like we rested, we got food in us. We drank water. We're good. We get, I don't even know how far we get, but on the way back, you could definitely tell it gets worse.
Yeah.
So we're going good, and like Eric's like, he's getting tired, and so we stop, and then we stop again, and it turns into, and it's not a bad thing. I'm not doing this to like call him out or flame him.
No, I can joke about it now.
It turns into like every 20 feet, like we're stopping. But I say that because now I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is serious.
Yeah.
Like, he's not fucking around, and this isn't just like being tired. Because if someone's tired, like, they'll drag their feet and whatever, but we'll keep moving. Like, they're tired. But like, no, dude, this guy's like, he's breathing hard. We're like trying to find the next bench. Like, he's stopping. And like I said, we're running low on water. So I'm like, oh shit, like, we just got to make it to the car. Because once we get to the car, in our car, we had an ice chest full of waters, Gatorades. Yeah. I don't think we had any of the electrolytes at that point.
We
had 2 Gatorades, we had waters. I was like, dude, we just gotta make it to the car, and we have we're good, like we're fine. We have food, like we're good. Well, that 3-mile walk back, which normally would probably take someone, I don't know, fucking hour maybe or less. I'm not
probably less than that.
40 minutes
maybe.
Turned into probably an hour 20, an hour 15.
Took a while.
So we were like constantly stopping. And again, I say that because I'm like, oh dude, this is like getting serious. So it came to a point where, and I wasn't really timing or checking the distance we were walking, but it came to the point about halfway through, I was like, dude, I might have to like actually call somebody, like a park ranger, like legitimately
airlift me out of there.
Legit, I was like, this guy is gonna pass out.
That's what I kept feeling that.
And like he kept saying, he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, dude, don't apologize. I would rather us stop and I call someone than you legitimately pass out.
Yeah.
Because if you pass out, then we got a bigger issue. Yeah. Right now, if you have consciousness, at least we can, fix that or we can work with it. So I was like, fuck. So like he kind of said, we're stopping. And then gets to the point he's on the bench. I'm like, all right. And I had already been thinking about doing this a while back, but I was trying to see how far we can go. I was like, maybe he can make it. And I'm referring to me like running ahead. So we get to a point in the bench where even I'm like, holy shit, we've got to be near the end because I feel like we've been walking forever.
For a while, yeah.
And I was like, okay. I told her, dude, just stay here. Like, I'm going to go see how far we are. And I turned the corner and I'm like, okay, it's not this corner. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I was already like 60 yards away from him. So I was like, I'm just going to go fucking run it. I'm going to get him a water and a Gatorade and come back because I do not want him to pass out. Like that's not going to be good. Yeah. Because then if we call someone, they're going to want to take him to like the hospital probably. It's just going to be a whole situation that we want to avoid when this is like, it could be fixable. Yeah. Like even if we spend the rest of the afternoon sitting in this spot so he can recuperate, it's better than the other outcome.
And I'm in the hospital for days or whatever. Whatever.
And then, like I said, I was like, bro, I know you can't afford that ambulance ride. Stop the cab.
I know where you work.
I know where you work, bro. So then I run ahead, which at that point, it really wasn't that far. It was maybe like 0.20 miles, less than a quarter of a mile. Yeah. And so I run ahead, I get to the car, I grab a Gatorade, I grab 2 waters, and I run back. And as I'm running back, he had already gotten up and he's already like making his way, I guess, trying to meet me as close as he can.
Yeah, I didn't want you to run all the way back. I'm like, no, I felt bad. And then I'm like, no, I got to kind of suck it up as much as I can. And
So we meet at one point, which is like, oh, dude, we're so close now. It's like a 1/10 of a mile. He's away. But we finally meet. I see him. I'm like, dude, just like, here, drink this. And I shit you not, this dude just like fucking falls to his knees. Like he just fucking falls and he's like breathing hard and I'm like, fuck, like this guy is going to pass out. So he starts drinking a little bit of water, not too much, and not to like, what did you like throw up? He said he felt like throwing up.
I wanted to throw up.
Like if
I wanted
you
to
chug
pass
it,
out.
he'll throw up. So it's like, okay, like just take your time. And he's like, I'm sorry. Like I'm like, dude, just fucking take your time. It's fine. And he was like, how far? And I was like, bro, we're like right there. So it kind of, like I said, picks off. But my point of view in the entire time is like, dude, we've got to get this guy. He's going to pass out. And I generally, at first, like I said, I was like, he's just tired. And then it turned into, we've got a situation. Like, this is for real. He's going to pass out.
It just gradually got worse.
Yeah. So, like I said, he started stripping in my car. And then this dude, man, I thought this guy was fucking hallucinating. Or not hallucinating, but I thought he was just going crazy. Because he's stripping in my car, right? And he's fucking huffing and puffing, and he's like taking his clothes off, but like just like his body language and his motion was even weird. I'm like, God damn, like this guy, he might still pass out in my car, but at least that's okay. It's in my car. We can fix that. He's like, I'm like, he still might pass out. And then he's taking his clothes off, and he's like, dude, I'm sorry. And like the whole time he's just breathing hard. Mind you, we had already stopped the hike 10 minutes ago, but he's breathing. He's like, I'm sorry. And we're like, we're fucking sweaty, which I don't mind. Like, I know we're sweaty. He's like, dude, I'll fucking clean your car. I'll get that thing where it sucks all the fucking...
I felt like my sweat was getting into his seat, and I'm like, I feel bad. He's like... He's very big on the cleanliness of his car. That's why.
No, I mean, I'll clean my car, but I know when time... It's kind of like my personal self. When I know it's going to be dirty, that's okay with me. Like, when I go out to do lawn work or go on a hike, I'm not like, I don't want to sweat. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to sweat, and that's okay with me. I'll go a fucking all day without showering or cleaning myself, but that's okay because I know I'm supposed to do it. So same thing here. I was already prepared for this whole week before this even happened. I was like, car's gonna be dirty and that's okay. I'll clean it after, which I did. So I was like, that's okay. So that really was not my concern, but Eric was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna fucking clean your car. And I just couldn't help but like chuckle because I'm like, dude, it's okay. Like,
I felt bad.
Dude was going crazy. So I just fucking up the air, and I was like, okay, dude, we're just gonna drive to the office. Like, we can stay in the car, but I'm just gonna go drive to check in. We can stay in the car, that's cool. Drive, check in, drive to our campsite park, and at that point, from the time we finished the hike to checking in and parking at our campsite, it's probably already been about 20 to 30 minutes, maybe, no, I'd say about 20. And he's chilling out still, he's sitting in the car. I think gradually he's okay enough to like step out and be like, oof, like I think the worst is over. I'm like, okay, like we're good. And I told him, I was like, it's all good, dude. Like we can set up real quick campsite. I just like went over the lay of the land, make sure we like got everything to go. And I was like, we can go to the store. We'll get some Gatorades, get some food if you want, get some ice. We need to refill on ice. I was like, we're good, dude. So that was probably the highlight of day one was Eric legitimately almost dying. Yeah. And that's probably the closest I've seen someone to like actually like passing out. I was like, holy, and I wasn't really scared, but it was honestly for me, it was more of a, I don't want to have to go through the possibility of calling someone. Not because I don't want to get him help, but it's because like I know that's going to be a bigger issue. Not just for me, like I'll be okay, but I know for him, like that's going to suck. If it were me and my friends and I was going to just pass out from heat, hey bro, don't call the ambulance unless you paying for it. Drive me out of there. I'll be all right. That's kind of where like my mind was thinking. I was like, I don't want to put him through that if it's unnecessary. Like we'll be okay. So thank God we were okay. That was day one. Finished the camp. We actually also that same day we tried to look for water to swim because there was also some swimming areas.
Oh, that sucked, dude.
It was all right. We eventually did find one after like 30 minutes. We went to two different parts of the park. First part did not work out, and we were just like walking back and forth. I was getting frustrated because I was like, we're wasting time. It's hot. And I was like, I just wanted to like sit in water.
And just kind of cool down.
So we went to another part that was like a more dedicated swim area. Luckily, we found it, which was like a fucking mile hike down the hill. That place makes you hike everywhere. Legitimately makes you hike everywhere. You want to go to the bathroom? It's a hike. You want to go to the swimming area? It's a hike. Goddamn. Anyway. So that was day one. And
we even had to hike to our bench and barbecue pit area.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like next to the campsite.
Yeah. So if anyone, I mean, I don't know how all state parks are, but so far, other than that one, our campsite, our barbecue area, our bench have all been
in the same
I don't know, fucking
vicinity,
the size of like a master bedroom, you know? And they're generally the same. Everything's just like right there.
Yeah.
Here, it was like park my car, and then they had a little trail, like a concrete trail, at least. I mean, it was paved, probably like 60 feet that way, 60, 70 feet or something. And then it was like the barbecue pit, the grill. I was like, man, fuck that. And I think that's where you were supposed to set up the tent. I think, because we saw like that little clearing.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, that little
on the left side, remember?
Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, fuck that. Let's just put it like right next to the car. The outlet's right there. And so it wasn't that bad. And we were grateful enough that the first 2 nights we had good weather.
Yeah.
Good enough weather where, like, in the back of my mind prior to camping, the like 3 weeks leading up to it, it has been fucking crazy hot.
Yeah.
It like
Super freaking hot.
like the best way I could describe it when I tell people is like when you open the oven, like when you're baking something and you open the oven and that wave of heat hits you. That's how it felt, but like all around you. The weeks leading up.
Yeah, it really did.
Like I would walk outside and I was like, dude, like I feel myself like cooking.
Yeah.
And it would be like 10 o'clock at night too. So
Oh.
disregard that. Hopefully that stops. We're almost towards the end of the episode.
We'll just keep going. Power through.
We'll power through real quick. So anyway, that's what it felt like. And then like 10 o'clock at night, again, the weeks leading up, it was just so hot. And so leading up to camping, I was like, damn, dude, I hope it's really not that hot. Because that's like unbearable. I mean, I know some people do it, but I was like, that's just
for no reason.
unnecessary for us to go through that just because we wanted to camp. So I would have, honestly, if it got to that point, in my mind, I was like, fuck it, I'll
go to a hotel.
I'll go to a hotel. We can still do like hiking and we can do the water stuff, but I'll go to the hotel because like fuck that. But again, first 2 nights we were pretty good. Actually, for me it got kind of chilly because we actually took a little fan, like a 12-inch fan, and we had it in the tent with us and like directly hitting us. And I got kind of chilly in the morning. I'd wake up and I was like, ooh, it's a little like, I had to like put something on.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Though.
I'd rather have that issue, mind you. So that was good. That was day 1. Day 2, we woke up super early, went to Enchanted, loved Enchanted. Honestly, it was relax. And another thing is we kind of at night we had good weather, and Enchanted the morning was great.
Yeah,
it was actually the whole day. It was overcast all day. I think it was supposed to rain, but it didn't rain on us. We felt like a couple drops.
Yeah, but it might have just changed like direction last minute.
We just caught like the drift of it, but there was no rain really. Overdraft
nice
all
breeze.
day. Nice breeze. It was
good views. He fell asleep on top of the rock.
I legitimately fell asleep for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, because we're laying down there for like an hour or two.
2 hours. 2.5 hours. So we got there at right when they opened. No, we got there like before. At 7:30.
Yeah.
I think they opened at 8. And so we got there at 7:30. We started our hike like at 7:45, 7:50, whatever, like right after. We were on the rock, like on Enchanted Rock from like 8:15 to like 10:30.
Yeah.
I think maybe close to 11. We're just up there. We're just laying down. We found one spot and we laid there and we were there for like probably an hour and a half. And then we went to the next spot and we were there. And then we moved because like, oh, dude, the rock is like, that rock is huge. Yeah. Holy shit. I've never been there. So it was wild to me. It's huge. It's like you're walking on the moon. That's what I felt like. Because like every time you want to like, you're like, oh, it ends. You go over the hill and then there's more. Oh, dude, that was wild. So then we go to another spot and we're there for like an hour. And that's where I fell asleep. Yeah. And it was such a vibe. Like we're chilling, breeze.
That was a good day.
It was so relaxing. I think that's why it was my number one. I just felt like so good. It was like relieving. Leave there, go to Fredericksburg, have lunch at a restaurant. What is it called? It's Cultures. It was called Cultures. Not bad, actually. It was not bad.
It was okay.
Chicken fried steak. Not bad. I'd give it like a 7.
Yeah.
It was a decent meal.
It was good.
And then our day, we had each day planned out. General times,
loose plan.
Yeah, loose plan. Like, oh, from this time to this time, we're probably gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and everything just kind of moved faster on that day. So we expected to go to Inks by about 8 o'clock. We got there like at 4. I think
we got there super early,
and that's because we stopped at HEB before. Yeah, picked up ice, restocked a little bit, and then Inks we spent one night there. It was supposed to be 2 nights. We spent one night there. We left early. So Inks was still nice. That day, that first day, still same day as Enchanted. We set up camp. We go to the water, I think.
We go to the water and then come back. We cook. And then I think that was about it.
I think that's it. Yeah, we actually, honestly, we were in bed by like 9:30 every night. Pretty much as soon as it got dark, we went to bed. Yeah. But we were also up like right when the sun came up almost.
We're up at like 5.
Yeah.
So you had your alarm. It was like 5:40.
Yeah, I think it was 5:40.
So it was just a long day.
And it stopped. So that was day 2. Again, not too bad. Honestly, probably my favorite day. That day was pretty nice. Pretty cool. Day 3, we wake up, we sleep in a little bit. Day 3, that was our version of sleeping. We got up like at 8, I think. Yeah. We finally got up out of the tent. 8 o'clock, we get up. We chill for honestly another hour just outside. We're on our phones. We're just like hanging out. And then we go on another hike. One more hike. Bad. It wasn't bad. That was pretty cool. And it was around what they call Devil's Watering Hole.
Devil's Butthole.
Devil's Butthole. The Devil Anus Butthole. We didn't go in, but because there was a lot of kids. It was like it was a church group.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the church.
The place starts with a B. Bear?
Baptist. No, the city.
The city, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. Barton's. No, that's Austin. That's Barton Springs.
Okay, well, either way, it was a church group. We wanted to kind of get in that water, but like they were like hogging everything. So like
there was room in the water, but it was only like 2 ways in, and they had to like set up camp all throughout that.
So like whatever.
So we were like whatever, and then also we were thinking of going kayaking because you could kayak there. So we did our little hike, which wasn't bad, probably an hour. It really wasn't long. No. And that's because we kind of messed around. We went off trail a little bit.
Yeah.
Sat on that one bench. We sat on this like bench that overlooked the watering hole, the butthole. And then we go to the store, we eat ice cream, we hang out. And then at this point in the day, you're feeling it's hot.
Yeah,
and I felt it earlier too, but now it's like, okay, now it's back to like that normal heat.
Yeah.
Not as bad as that normal heat I was talking about, like that oven heat. But I was like, now I'm feeling the heat. This was like the hottest day out of the 3. That was our 3rd day, so the first 2 days. The hottest out of the first 2, 3, whatever. And I told him, I was like, damn, dude, like it's fucking hot. Like, and that's because we were in shade eating ice cream. And I'm like, dude, it is hot. Yeah. Like, fuck. I was like, I'm suggesting like, hey, you want to just like, I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. But we also had to know, we had a cave tour.
At 3.
Which was like 2 miles down the road. It was like a 6-minute drive, 2 miles down the road. We were going to do that at 3. So I was like, hey, if you're down, I'm down to just like book it after that cave tour. Because like tonight, if it's hot now, tonight's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, we can either, like push through the night or just stay. Because really, the cave tour was the last thing we really had planned that we had paid for.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the next day already. Like first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna leave at 6. So really, we were there for just really the night activity.
Yeah.
Which was probably just cook and then go in the lake again. Which
maybe would
have been our 3rd time.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was like, I'm cool to leave if you're cool to leave, which we agreed. Yeah. Which good thing we did because it was
hot.
It was hot. Yeah. So we go back for lunch. Again, Inks Lake is more, I feel like if you want to take the family, have a good recreational time.
Chill time.
Yeah. It was nice. There was a bunch of people there. A lot of families. A good amount of people. It wasn't like super packed or anything. But it was a good amount of people. And we did that cave tour, which was Longhorn Cavern.
Yeah, Longhorn Cavern.
And let me tell you a quick story about Longhorn Cavern. Longhorn Cavern, first of all, overall, great. It was like 70, or the website says 68 degrees yearly. It felt pretty nice. It felt like I was inside like an air-conditioned room.
Yeah.
I wasn't cold. I wasn't hot. I was just like, I'm fresh. So we did the cave tour, which was about an hour or 10. Not too long.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And something I noticed when we were 2 minutes into the tour. I shit you not, we were 90 seconds into the tour. And we had a tour guide, obviously, a girl. And bless her heart, great tour guide. But something I noticed when she first started talking was her... And I'm guessing she didn't realize she was doing it. She would say, as well. Those 2 words, as well. So, for example, she would say, here at Longhorn Cavern, it's an hour tour, and it was built back in 1868 as well. Over here, I'm going to guide you on this whatever. Everyone stick together as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, after every sentence.
It didn't really...
Sometimes it didn't make sense to put it in there.
Most of the time it didn't make... Sometimes she was talking about 2 different things or 2 things that connected. So like the as well was like a bridge. That was cool.
Yeah.
But most of the time it was just like a word in there.
She would just throw it in there.
Kind of like how I say
Yeah.
Which we talked about like episode 2 or some shit.
Yeah.
Or 3, whatever.
I say
he says So it's like one of those things. One of those things that people just like, everyone has their own thing they say. But hers was pretty noticeable. So I whispered him, I'm like, dude, she's saying as well a lot, like just hear it. And by this time in my head, I'm already counting. I'm like at 4. Mind you, again, we're 2 minutes into this tour. We haven't even entered the gate, or we did. We're like
the very
like
entrance.
the gate, and then we're like our group.
Steps in,
yeah, like we're fucking 20 feet in. We're just started. And so I tell him, I'm like, hey, did you just notice how she says as well? So I've already counted. I'm like at 4. And then he starts noticing. I'm like, okay, look, let's just start counting. Let's see how many we can get. So we go throughout the tour. Long story short, still very cool tour. I'd recommend anyone wants to go. It was like $20.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, nothing like crazy, but it was interesting. So we do the cave tour, and we got to, what did we get to?
105.
105.
105 as wells.
105 times she said as well in an hour. And she scared us for a little bit, so we started placing bets about halfway through. Like at 30 or something.
You had 130, I had 115.
Yeah. And I was like, that's how many times we thought she was going to say it. And so we go do the tour, whatever. And it came to a point towards the end where we're already walking back. Like, we already know we're walking back. We're finishing up. We're walking, like, to the exit. And we're like at 91.
Yeah.
And we're like, I told him, I was like, dude, like, fuck. Like, I just want to hit triple digits.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if we don't get to 130, which we're not. I don't care. I was like, let's just fucking hit triple. Like, it started turning into a competition. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, we just need her to make like 1 or 2 more stops. Because, like, average, every time we stopped as a group for her to talk, it was like about 6 as wells.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Average. Yeah. It was only about a minute or 2 stop. It wasn't like anything crazy, you know. Fuck. I'm doing it. So I was like, dude, I just need her to stop like 1 or 2 times, and I think we could do it. Thank goodness on her last stop, she said it. No. Her second to last stop, we crossed 100.
Yeah.
And on her last one, she surpassed it because she's an overachiever.
Yeah.
And she got us to 105. And I was like,
we're so hyped.
Dude, I was like, I was actually hyped. It was like, for real. Anyway, that was kind of fun. That was like the little fun thing on day 3. She's about to die again.
Falling.
Yeah, these shirts are weird. I'm telling you, this happens in the other episodes.
1 or 2 more stops, and I would have hit my 115.
Oh, for sure. 105? Yeah, 2 stops.
Yeah.
2 stops for sure.
But yeah, we got super hyped when
towards the end. I was thinking of like making conversation with her just to get us to the 100. I was like,
really push us over.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, what if I'll start asking, like, I'll ask questions if I need to. I'll start asking questions. I'll see if I engage with her more. But I was like, we got there, so I was like, okay, we're good. Thank goodness. And then after that, we just came home, called it a day. Got home at a good time. Yeah. Like at 6:30.
Yeah, the light was still out, so.
Yeah, so good trip, good overall trip, and that's kind of where we ended. Now we're here.
Yeah.
And then I spent the next 4 days. Quick note. I spent the next 4 days watching movies. I love movies, and we've talked about this before. Said in episode whatever last time. I love movies. I love watching movies. I like TV shows, but I love movies just because you get the whole story in 2 hours or whatever, and it's just like, you get everything. So from Thursday to I guess Sunday. Sunday I only saw one. Thursday to Saturday I saw 10 movies.
Like in the theater?
Not in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I'd be broke.
I was like, damn.
I saw every movie possible. No, I saw not in movies. So they were really good. I saw some weird ones. I finally saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I tried seeing it, but when I had seen it, I was kind of like tired from work. So when I went in there, I fell asleep like midway through. So I need to rewatch it because I heard it's good. It won the Oscar. Or whatever.
It's good. It's a different movie. All the movies I saw were. How do I explain? They were all in their own category, but they weren't like I don't think other than maybe that one, I don't think I saw any like mainstream movies.
So you just saw like random ones?
I saw like two of them. They were just kind of here and there, independent films type thing is the best way I would describe it. And it was funny because on day 2, like Thursday, Friday, I started noticing this was completely like unplanned, but they were all produced. Is that the word? By the same production company. So you know how there's Warner Bros. And Disney, and then that lady with the torch. Mm-hmm. This one was the company or the studio, whatever you call it, A24.
Oh, I was thinking that one.
So A24, if you guys don't know, and now I noticed because I saw so many of them. They make good movies, but they make like you got to like pay attention. You got to like put things together. Kind of, it's not like a puzzle, but they make things relate. So like. And they're kind of weird movies, I guess. Like Midsommar is one of them.
A24 made that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that movie.
Yeah, so but you see how that
It's
one's
weird.
like
Yeah,
different. It's weird. Like there's symbolism.
Kind of like Hereditary type of vibe?
Yeah, I don't know if they made Hereditary.
I don't know if they made that one, but that type of.
Yeah, but they make like those, and I mean they do have some bangers. I would say like mainstream movies. It's like the third time, bro. This guy. They have some mainstream ones, I guess. And when I think mainstream are like, I don't know, normal movies. I don't know what I think of normal, but like, I don't know, Harry Potter, or like Mission Impossible, or see, I said again, fuck me. Grown Ups, like those movies are normal movie, like everyone's gonna go watch them and enjoy them, right? But then you have the other ones that kind of make you think, and people walk out like, oh, what the fuck, like Midsommar. Most people were like, what? Yeah. But like you gotta like pay attention and kind of piece things together.
Like symbolism in there.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Like you gotta not just watch the movie, but like pay attention. Yeah. And I feel like A24 Studios make those type, or some weird ones, not all of them. So like I saw this one called Tusk, and I know we're running short on time.
I saw Tusk this weekend too.
Oh my.
Bro, I swear, I saw it on Saturday.
Oh, I think I saw it on Friday.
Yeah?
I know we're running short on time.
We're going to do from Accepted, right?
Yes. Yeah, from the university one?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he made like his own school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make this quick. Tusk. So Tusk, briefly, is based off of a guy who has a podcast, actually, goes to interview another guy. That doesn't work out. So he interviews an old guy who has alleged stories.
Sailor stories.
Like sailor stories. He's done so much stuff in his life, and he wants to hire someone to come help him with everyday chores, because he puts on a front that he's wheelchair bound. Mm-hmm. So like, help me do everyday stuff. You live with me for free, and I'll tell you stories. Like, be cool. Yeah. And so this guy's like, hey, cool, I'm going to go interview him. I don't want to live with him, but I'll go interview him. I want to hear these stories because I need something for the podcast episode. So he goes to interview him.
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes again. Definitely not. That's actually our cue. I'll talk to you next one. No. So he goes to interview him. One thing leads to another. The old guy is not wheelchair bound.
It's crazy.
He actually, in his old sailor days, that part was true, he met a walrus because he was on a ship that crashed into an iceberg. He ended up on an island or a rock. Yeah. Met a walrus, and it became like his best friend, best relationship he's ever had in his life. Yeah. Human, non-human, best relationship. Yeah. He loved that walrus. He called him Mr. Tusk. Yeah. So now he kidnaps people to try to turn them into a walrus so he can like relive that connection, I guess. So and it didn't show like super detailed of how he did it, but he like cuts off legs and arms, cuts off the legs of people, sews their arms, from my understanding, like this, and they showed it to like flappers, puts them, and I didn't understand this part, but he puts them into like a seal suit, or a suit.
Made out of other human skin, though, isn't it?
Is it? I think so, because it's all sewn together. Yeah, but I didn't understand how he got so big, because it looks like it looks morbid, but it looks like a walrus-sized thing. So I don't know how he just stuffs it with something. Yeah. But so it was like the dude, the podcaster, with like a seal skin. His face, you could tell like his eyes are human, but his face is like embedded and like blended in with the skin.
He put like a walrus suit made out of skin, essentially, because like you said, his eyes are still human, so literally
like you can tell. Look at his face, and you're like, that's human, but then like it's blended in, and it like fades into like skin. So he has like, it stops, like this part is human, like and everything else is just. And so he has a mouth, and he also, I think he attaches tusks. Yeah, he surgically puts tusks. So this human now has tusks, and he pulls out their tongue. Yeah, weird movie. That's a weird movie. So,
I don't like what the friends did at the end, though.
Oh, just throw the fish?
No, like, it kept him alive.
Oh, so yeah, spoiler alert, right?
Well, we already spoiled everything.
True. He kills the old guy because the old guy wants to get into a seal fight.
Yeah, so he puts on his own suit.
Yeah, the dude has his own suit, but he still has arms and legs, right? Puts on his own suit, and they're like chest hitting each other.
Bro, that's so funny.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then the dude who got kidnapped stabs him with his real tusk and like kills the old guy. Cool. And then the friends, it like fast forward, and the friends just keep him like caged in like a zoo. I think it looks like it's someone's backyard. Yeah. Don't know where. But he's caged in, has like a hut, a giant hut. Yeah. Imagine that.
Kind of like a doghouse, but like
a doghouse. And then like there's a pool. And then they're like talking to him from a balcony of that said house in that backyard. They call him out, they throw like a fish, and it's just like him, and he's like eating the fish, and that's how it like ends. So I guess he lives his life as, dude, I'd just be like, fucking, I mean, you can't talk, right? But shoot me. Yeah. Kill me.
Yeah, because after that fight, like a little bit of more
Sorry
backstory.
for the fucking noise, by the way.
They met with a private detective to try to find him because the police weren't taking him serious. So the private detective, they kind of figure everything out. They find where he's being held. They have guns with them. Get in, and then at that point when they finally find him, he had just killed the old man. And in my head, I'm like, kill him.
Right.
Like, wow, he's your... Because it was a friend, his co-host in the podcast, and his girlfriend.
Right.
At that point, kill him.
Right.
I told Sam, like, if you walk in on me
like
in
that?
a walrus thing, shoot me.
Yeah,
I'm going to be mad.
Me.
And then they kept him, put him in that, like, farm zoo type of thing, and kept him, and they just feed him like that.
Like raw fish, too. Like he's an actual...
animal.
See, I keep saying seal. Walrus.
Walrus, yeah.
An actual walrus.
That's horrible. I would.
But like mentally, he's still there.
Yeah,
I would think, unless he's like going crazy.
He's
now.
like crying too. I think they show at the end.
Yeah,
if I remember.
thank you.
And
sorry for the alarm.
Like if it was you in a walrus thing like that,
I would just not eat. I just look at them and like grunt because he can't talk. So like grunt, like shoot me, kill me. I give you permission.
Yeah.
Like I'm not living like that.
I would have shot you.
I would have shot you.
Yeah.
I would have shot you just because you're fucking ugly. Honestly, not even for you. For me, I don't want to look at you.
I told Sam like if I walk in on you and you're in a walrus suit like that, I'm shooting, no questions asked.
But also, I would think like, how is that person gonna live?
Yeah,
like that, throwing them
the
fucking
quality
raw
of
fish.
life and just.
Oh god,
don't eat cheeseburger.
That was weird. That one was a weird movie. I think that was the weirdest out of all that I saw. Out of all the ones I saw, and I won't go through the rest. We're running out of time here, but. Love movies, so see what I want to see another one, but I don't know which one.
I want to see Sound of Freedom.
Oh, I just saw.
I want to see that one.
Is that in theaters right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. That looks good.
It's sold out every single time I checked at Draft House, at Regal. It's consistently sold out, like fully booked.
Well, then let's just go in and watch from the stairs.
Can just put on some Cinemark suits.
Yeah, just stand there with the trash cans because we work there. They're gonna kick us out.
We can go into the black polo and just hold a trash bag. I don't think anybody would.
100% with a ladder and a vest. What do you mean? You get in anywhere? Yeah, I went to real quick. I went to see Transformers, the new one. Honestly,
how'd you like it?
Really good. I liked it. One part about the movie, I'm not gonna say anything, but one part about the movie, I was like, okay, I don't like that, but. Whatever, it is what it is. Other than that one part, and that one part was still kind of cool. I just felt like it didn't fit with the Transformers.
Right.
It was still cool though. Other than that, I thought it was a good movie. Yeah. It was great.
I gotta watch it.
I fucking love the Transformers, like the real life, like
Yeah.
with the ones they made like Shia LaBeouf starting.
Yeah.
Like that series, I fucking love it. I'm not like a super big like on the animated or whatever. I can't lie. I'm not like that.
I wanted to cry when Optimus Prime had died. In the forest.
Wait, you didn't cry?
I wanted to.
But you didn't?
No.
Oh,
I was so close. Eyes got watery. My mom cried.
I was fucking.
But my eyes were like super watery.
Yeah.
He got stabbed.
Every time he fucking gives a battle speech, I just want to punch a baby. Oh god damn! He fucking gets me hyped up, bro. That guy, or Captain America? Who would you take to lead you into battle?
Optimus.
Optimus?
I feel like Optimus. Yeah.
I think Captain America has more like humility, like because he's human. But Optimus is just like. We can get it done. Fuck.
I just feel more confident with Optimus.
Yeah, he gives me like that fucking.
I'm ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
You can't stop me.
Bricked up through a brick wall.
Huh?
Anyway, let us know. Let us know about movies. I don't even know. What did we talk about this week? Talk about parks.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed our stories at the parks. We'll try to include some film. I know this video is already going to be long, so we'll see what we can do. Might not include it. We'll see. I don't want to overwhelm it. But yeah.
We'll see you next week. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode.
And thumbs up if Eric should have passed out.
If I shouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah, he should be dead. Thumbs up if he should. But anyway, let us know how you feel. And we'll see y'all the next time.
See ya.
Peace out.